they were coming, they said they were freedom fighters.
Good morning, good morning. Good morning, Liberia. Good morning, just wherever you are this morning. What a pleasant way we'd like to welcome all of you to yet another exciting opportunity to talk about the issues that matter to Liberia's growth and development.
You freedom fighter, you raping our women.
It is a wonderful Monday morning from the nation's capital in Monrovia. June 1, 2026. We're in the 6th month of the year, gradually pushing in on 2026. Oh yeah. We are getting there. Good morning, Liberia. Good morning, just wherever you are. A pleasant way I'd like to welcome all of you to this Monday morning edition of the Freedom Money Rise on Freedom 87.9, the People's Radio. Good morning to our friends. Good morning to those of you in the diaspora. It's always a good thing to have you join us. And this is where we discuss the issues without fear nor favor. We speak truth to power. And there are too many things to talk about, lots of things to run you over. Special thanks to all of our friends out there. Those of you always connecting us on the issue. The code of conduct, conversation about the code of conduct continues as we also witnessed over the weekend an elaborate political rally call by the regime collaborator, Liberty Party. Oh yeah. Well, at that event, it was equally attended presidential appointees, heads of agencies. There were political speeches made, but very notably from the Liberty Party anniversary celebration over the weekend was the absence of Mrs. Charlene Bromsky, the daughter of the late Councillor Charles Walker Bromsky, founder of the Liberty Party. And questions and eyebrows have been raised. Why was Charlene absent? Have Delon and Yombly succeeded? Have they succeeded in excommunicating the daughter, the founding father of the Liberty Party? And these are debates in the corridors of Basel and other parts of Monrovia. As people are continuing to look at the event. Imagine okay. Also over the weekend, the president called, that was last week, coming to the close of last week, his 20th cabinet meeting, where the president issued a directive restricting official foreign travels. Members of the cabinet, ministers and senior officials. And so we are going to look into that. What does the president directive entail? Is it genuine? Is it sincere? Are they going to live up to it? Who is? You know, we have a common saying in
They
Liberia.
say they were freedom fighters. When they were coming, they said they were liberators.
To follow the leader. The way the leader has been showing leadership in terms of foreign travels. Exactly what others have been following. Look at the Minister of Public Works. Always in the air. And all of them.
Are you raping our women? Freedom fighter, you killing our children.
And also another critical issue, especially about business and the cost of living in Liberia. And the House of Representatives news coming from there is that the House has constituted a specialized investigative committee to put into the unwarranted fees charges. Listen to that. When in fact it's the very House that should set charges. But the House is telling us, the House presided over by the regime speaker is telling us that they have to investigate. And I like the description. Say unwarranted fees charges at the free port of Monrovia. Federal Liberians, those with business interests, this is a conversation you don't want to miss. Right here on the big station. Freedom 87.9. And our prime discussion this morning is going to look at
You freedom fighter, you killing our children. Freedom fighter, you destroying our country.
it's going to look deep into the government pronouncement of the arrival of the final batch of its 285 yellow machines. The boycott government, the rescue government, has announced that it has brought in to the country 285 yellow machines. And the government has also set June 29 for deployment to count this. The 29th of this month. Today is the 1st of June. Even though some time ago, the head of the Yellow Machine Committee, Brani Samuka, told the press that deployment will commence in the dry season. Another officer came out to sharply disagree. That man doesn't know what he said. We will start June 29 with the rains and the water. And how are they going to transport these yellow machines? But again, this is it. Folks, the shipment size of the conversation, very loaded, interesting conversation that you don't want to miss on the detailed explanations beyond the headlines. This is the Freedom Money Rise on Freedom 87.9. And on the flip side of the yellow machines conversation, we're going to look into a very concerning, very alarming report about the passing of a very important man into the whole yellow machine thing. You know, deaths happen, but it's important the circumstances under which people die. During critical moment, oh yeah, our job is to ask the question, and the people are to come out with the clarity. They say the custom broker who cleared the yellow machine, less than 3 days after the government brought in the last batch, less than 3 days, nobody in the country have heard about the man, ill man. And the man is pronounced there. So pundits and critics and others have been looking at it. Even the Imbato representative of district number 10 has also said publicly, that is the one in the public, but it's a very hard place sources beginning to look at these things, because mind you now, critically assessing this whole yellow machine thing, you know, no matter how you put it, there will be questions to answer. And the broker is a very important part of the puzzle. When the days of reckoning shall have come before us, when the questions will be asked, when the accountability will be sorted, oh yeah, the broker will have to play some role. But in this case, the broker is gone. Liberians are concerned. Families are asking. Stakeholders are also concerned. The shipping size of the conversation for you this morning. My name is Abu Sharif. It's always a good thing to be here. And of course, after a very restful weekend, entertaining weekend, football weekend, congratulations to our friends, the Gunners.
When they were coming,
football that passion.
the freedom fighters. When they were coming, they said they were liberators.
The Gunners for life, heartbreak for life.
They changed their mind.
We will go again next season.
They changed.
Heartbreak and no problem for Arsenal fans.
So
So PSG, you can go ahead, you do whatever you want
what
to
kind of people they so? They are freedom fighters.
do. Our men in red buying their same position.
Freedom fighter, you.
Then, but the thing I couldn't understand from the Arsenal fans,
Freedom fighter, you destroy now.
that the very people were praying for Man U to get relegated. I don't thought you know what. I get failure. There is a funnel, and I choose myself. And to further demonstrate how very serious I was about it, my good friend Jackson Clay, an Arsenal supporter, printed for me a nice Paris Saint-Germain top and a beautiful woman top, confidently, and we grabbed these boys and whipped them to their game. Oh yeah, and they were still celebrating with heavy heart, with pins in their heart. They shamelessly celebrated, but we whipped them. The boys are still counting, they're still counting and counting. Who knows? Congratulations to all of us, the Parisiens. Nous sommes de Paris. Oui, mon ami, nous sommes frappés. Nos petits Arsenal. Oh yeah, man, that's the beauty of the game. Next season we go again. A badge of our team song, and folks, once we come back, we go straight into the conversations right here on the big station Freedom 87.9.
It's about musical. There are crimes in many places, in every community, you know, you can see. So if you see crime and put it, don't take law in your hand for the right authority. That it can't take care of it. Crime Stopper here for us, bringing safety to your door. Whether you rich or you poor, if you see a you must talk it, and I mean you cheche. Do it for your safety. If you see it, don't keep it. You must call to report it. Crime Stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime Stopper, stopping crime and making peace for them before. Crime Stopper, Liberia, from the center to interior. Crime Stopper, keeping us safe, they're stopping crime for all of us. Crime Stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime Stopper, stopping crime and making peace for them before. Crime Stopper, Liberia, From the center to interior, Crime Stopper. Keeping us safe, they're stopping crimes for all of us.
Crime Stopper Liberia is your community crime fighting partner. Don't take the law into your own hands. Remember, if you see a crime, report it. This is a message from your own self, Old Man Sam Cyan.
Crime Stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime Stopper, stopping crime and making peace for them before. Crime Stopper Liberia. From the center to interior, Crime Stopper. Keeping us safe, they're stopping crimes for all of us. Crime Stopper. The people bringing safety to your door. Crime Stopper. Stopping crime and making peace for them before. Crime Stopper Liberia. From the center to interior, Crime Stopper. Keeping us safe, they're stopping crimes for all of us.
Okay, good morning. Welcome. Yes. Hey, the Mad Gunners. Gunner manager calling me this morning, but I don't know what the issue. They not the man won the Premier League. They say, oh, I came on the show, I didn't, recognize them and all of that. So I said, okay, you're sorry. So the Champions League finishing, I was all talk about it. So, but then the man calling me, but I don't know why they're calling. Oh God. And the man like ready for the pin. You can imagine the pin made a Sekou Kalasco will be feeling. Yeah. After all that, think what they did. But look, they did well yesterday. Oh. I think the Metropolitan Police reported, I saw the report that the Gunners put out the largest crowd in the city yesterday. London was filled all over. They were celebrating, with heavy heart, with pain in their stomach. They were celebrating. They narrowly won a Premier League, very narrowly. They didn't even win like Giants. They didn't win with a stickman. It wasn't, that kind of winning there. As not as someone on football team. But anyway, yeah. But let's just congratulate the man. Lazy Boys FC, right? The Cartoon FC. But look, Gunners, that whipping in the Champions League, you deserve it. In fact, you should have been whipped even more than that. You adapted a system. Look, let me tell Gunners why they flock you. Your decision to have defended as early after scoring that first goal in the 6th minute was poor calculation. It cost you. Because what you did, you allowed PSG to build confidence, to dominate you, and, to press. And so you adapted a defensive posture. You did not utilize the lack of Saka, and, Declan Rice, wearing as freely flowing as we know them to play. They didn't really come out. They did not impact or influence the game in a way that everybody know these players can play. I think that was generally due to the approach to the game. That was another thing that cost you the Champions League, right? And then that sluggish, very sluggish defensive work from say Musiala, right? No, I call the guy that defender that pulled Varaskelia down, and then the penalty was converted by Ousmane Dembele. You shouldn't have done that. There's no way you could get hold of that guy. Right there, what you should have done, probably trust the goalkeeper. The guy is a very brilliant stop shot stopper. He's good at that. Trust him with a 1v1. Let's see. Probably. And so that was an opportunity also that Arsenal missed. And then the defender, Gabe Wright, that went over the penalty. But again, it was meant for your defeat, and that's what it happened. That's how it happened the way it happened. So let me recognize our folks here this morning following. Mr. Jeremy Dwyer is watching live. Samuel Light Cooper, good morning, Brother Abu. I'm following from Cadwell, Thumbs Up Community. So to all our Arsenal friends and followers, We're sorry, we're in sympathy with you. Trust me, next time it will be good. Yeah, man. I mean, myself regret supporting PSG, but next season, I can guarantee you, next season I will support Arsenal. Next season, I will support Arsenal in the Champions League. Hey, I'll go Champions League final. I will support it. I can guarantee. So all you need to do next season is just play to reach the final. I will support it. Koboy Widow, good morning, Abu Sharif. I'm following from Kakata, Magibi County. Robin Kane says, I'm following. Venetia Junior Bar is also following. Matt Nilsson is following from FDA Junction this morning. Saturday Zongwe Underwear is also watching from Atlanta, Georgia. Papis Keita, good morning, Freedom FM. He's following from Dupont Road. This is Guya Loy, February. Mountain says, I'm watching from Douala General Market. Chris Wooler says he's following from Partnersville, District number 11. Samukatan area. You know, the lawmaker has busy himself with building stadium and has neglected the people of Samukatan. I can remember, I think last year there was another serious report about terrible road condition in that area. This year again, there's another situation. Let's see what advocacy he brings to bear on that. This is Single Ayini. I'm watching from Johnsonville. Thanks, Clarence Dwyer. Good morning, Abu, and good morning to the peace-loving people of my motherland. I'm glad to be on this June 4th, 2026 edition of the Freedom Money Rising Freedom 87.9. Bendu Fambula, good morning. Morris Gay, good morning, Abu. He says, this is Zuana Kona. Good morning, Abu. George Watkins Jr. Good morning, everyone. And I'm following from the HQ of Honorable Solomon Tipo. Thanks, Mark Kura, my friend and brother, following from Ganta. He says, good morning, Freedom Radio Liberia. I'm following the show live from Ganta City, Nimba County. Thanks so kindly for your hard work. He says, Peter One Day. Good morning, Freedom family. I'm following from my the Crown Hill community. Thanks for the show. Junior Johnson. Good morning. I'm following from around the free port of Monrovia. Uh, this is okay. Amar Jala Kamara from Brazos. Thanks a lot. Always. This is Andrew Boakai Masakwe. David Yinkan, Stephen Fala Jr., Henry Yango, way there in the US, Cecilia Logan, Linda Morris, Estelle M. Place, Lasana Corner, this is J. Really Teddy Johnson, Favor Morris. What? Favor that Arsenal girl. Favor Morris, oh, flop. Imagine Favor. Favor, you go do me an Arsenal. Don't do, yeah, you can get happiness. You go put yourself in that kind of heartbreak. Football, that passion. That passion. Hmm? Jackson, I say what? Madeline Tunley last born, right? Okay. It's Patrick G. Kiadi, Afale Ba, Abraham and Anderson, Benedict Zawu, and a host of others joining and dropping your comments. Kindly share the show. Basically, folks, every time we ask you, please, just give us 2 minutes, 3 minutes of your time and just share our work. Share our work as your own support and contribution to whatever we do here. We're very grateful for that. And the bigger loser of the weekend is Joseph Boakai. Joseph Boakai go jump behind the people team saying supporting Arsenal. And ever since they probably started supporting Arsenal, that had trophy drought and bad luck started following the team, poking win trophy. Somebody was doing the calculation. So Tambaga selling cocoa in the bush there. You're not doing football business. When King Otan, I know 19Y decided to start supporting I think in the 90s or 2000 he started supporting Arsenal. And ever since he started, nobody know how he even put himself behind the people team. Thank God they didn't bring it to menu. So we are good. We're good. Next season, every day gonna be like that. Ain't. Yeah. The old man, how broken yesterday. You can imagine, bro. Yeah. Sweet for the puppy. Sweet for it. You only know that the reason say that the main reason say why I can say I'm gonna go support us. That me and Baka all go support the same team. Me and Baka for a while. Eh? The puppy who say I don't get right to live. Eh? That the main team has all go support for a while. Eh? You go put Arsenal in IEOZ. You go put Arsenal in Satan Community FC. That's who I will support. I will support again. I will support. I will stand in Baka flesh. I will stand in Baka flesh. Okay, so folks, there is a looming threat over the future of our democracy to a larger extent. And it is also a challenge to the government of Liberia to ensure that it begins the process of managing itself very well and do responsible spending. It's important. And these are just my in-house. And that is with the report we're getting from the EU. The EU delegation right? Okay. So the EU delegation issued a statement over the weekend. I think it was a press conference. And then during the Q&A section, there was a particular inquiry made. And so the response from the delegation points to what the Liberian investigator picked up on that has got to do with the support that comes from the EU towards our electionary processes. So it's important. In all of this thing we are talking about, right? The heartbeat of our democracy, the election period, our election. So the guarantee of that is important for all of us to think about. Or else, there are two things. Either we are going to remain in the turmoil that we are experiencing, and then we are going to remain stuck in the backwardness that we are faced with. But once there is a hope, every time there are distressing people and you interview them, they say, but we're not talking, we're waiting for 2029. The guarantee of that is for the resources to be available to conduct the election in a transparent manner. So when we saw this, we became very concerned. We say, as the headline reads, EU tells Liberia, fund your own elections. Fund your own elections. In time past, significantly in the 2023 election, the CDC government showed a significant part of it. But yesterday, there was still, donor support in other areas. But with these kinds of reports coming out now, it's indicative of one fact, that these other support, technical or capacity or technological support and all of those things are going to be turned to us, are going to be our responsibility. And with the way the government is proceeding, how things are going on and all of that, it is important we begin ringing the bells now in their ears so that they know that, of course, this is very, very important. Now, the story is, so the European Union has warned Liberia that its repeated failure to fund the National Elections Commission on time is one of the most serious threats to democratic credibility in the country. You see what I told you about the future of our democracy? Right? Now read that again. The European Union has warned Liberia that its repeated failure to fund, that as a country, our repeated failure to fund our own election, is our own national elections on time is one of the most serious threats to democratic credibility in the country. Demanding that election financing become a fixed budgetary line rather than what it called a political surprise. So we have to start planning, because we know that 2029 we have an election cycle. So there must be budgetary allotment every other year towards preparation, or to put the money somewhere that's sitting there, because we know we'll go to election. Then to be waiting when election year comes, then we start jogging around begging for people for our own democracy. The rebuke came Saturday from Andreas Skander, head of EU election follow-up mission and a member of the European Union Parliament, who outlined a sweeping set of reform demands at a news conference in Monrovia. Shida, who also served as chief observer of the EU election observation mission during the 2023 elections, said Liberia must move decisively on multiple fronts before the next electoral cycle in 2029. A major issue identified during the 2023 election was the untimely financing of the National Elections Commission. Shida said election funding should be consistent budgetary item rather than a political surprise. The mission, deployed May 10, was tasked with assessing Liberia's progress on 22 recommendations the EU issued following the 2023 presidential and legislative elections. Shida described the mission as independent, non-partisan, and respectful of Liberia's sovereignty. Beyond financing, Shida identified a cluster of structural deficiencies that hampered the 2023 polls: inadequate voter education, low political participation by women, insufficient voter registration centers, and weaknesses in electoral administrations. These are things that need to be addressed adequately to guarantee, a responsible election in 2029. And these recommendations are there, right? So the EU delegations is saying that is reminding us that we need to put our money in the right place to guarantee the credibility that democracy requires. And this is a conversation for everywhere many Liberians to get involved with, because this is serious. It is very, very serious. So as we are hoping and praying for 2029 and doing all that we can, we must, especially as lawmakers, right, as representative of political parties and political institutions, the power you seek, the medium through which you get this power, you have to put to ensure that that is already guaranteed, that there is no excuse. Because if you don't get the money, if you don't get the money, then what may most likely happen is that these very challenges will become even more perennial, right? If you don't get these funding, if you don't get the requisite resources in time, most likely you will have limited voter registration centers. You will have low voter turnout, or people turning out to register, because when the centers are very far from the communities, and the communities will have to walk miles and miles, they may most likely not get interested. So it's important we begin to have these conversations now and remind the government of its responsibility and duty to the country and the democracy that we all enjoy, right? These are very careless and reckless bunch of looters presiding over our country now. They may pay less attention, thinking that when the system is like that, it favors them, especially with many officials of the government. Are listening to one recording from Maggie County where they say this fellow Ben Fofana openly said that they will use the police, the immigration, or let's say the joint security to thwart the result. I don't know how they are going to do that, but people become very confused sometimes when they're getting illicit money They get very confused and they just make some outlandish utterances. And this is one, right? A commissioner at LTA who got appointed through an illegal means, an unconstitutional means, right? You're presiding over the LTA through an unconstitutional means. It means that bend the rules to accommodate you for political expediency. And you wear the audacity to threaten our democratic process. But we'll get there. Now, let's move to the next point we want to look at quickly. That is the president directive to a cabinet. President Bouakai issued a directive on executive or excessive foreign travels. President Bouakai has now realized 3 years into his leadership that he has been having excessive foreign trips, and the trips are costing Liberia a lot. Fellow Liberians, you see, this is another moment. So we repeatedly sounded the caveat that owing to the fact that all of these trips were not meeting the purpose as they were communicated to Liberians, the president was busying himself with very useless and unimpactful trips. And it was important that the president make a review of that, right? I'm trying to say, oh, they made a critical. So now this is an admittance to the very things we said. So this is also to you who have been blindly supporting the regime. And we've been telling you term of that number. Liberia is too poor for the president to be traveling here, there, yonder, counting over 25 to 30 trips. And he has attracted not a penny, least to talk about a cold water company. He has brought zero out of all of these trips, right? Baseless trips that brings no dividend, no return to the country. And not only the president, right? Even his officials, they're making big trips. They're flying business class. They're going here, there, yonder. When a minister is traveling, he carries delegation. A commissioner is traveling, he carries delegation. Right? The president traveling, he carries delegation. The vice president carries delegation. The speaker carries delegation. The pro tempore carries delegation. And all of them just carry their partisans, all of them. They've used these traveling opportunities as another window, right, to secure money for their puppet followers. And which is bad for the country, which is hurting the country. Check the sizes of the travel delegation, the size. The president has not left this country with less than 20 people. He has not left this country on any of his trip with less than 20 people. Right? He has not, and I'm challenging them to provide the travel, how you call it? The list for all the president travels. Not I think they can be put on e-marshal. They will put 15% there. Then they say plus communication crew, plus the other crew, plus that other crew, plus that other one. And then when you go check on the event, you see all kinds of non-essential people on the trip. Right? Taking millions and millions. So it has to start with the president himself. He gave the leeway to all of these excess travels and useless trips. So to now be coming to put a restriction on it after 3 years signals to a larger extent that you think because election time is nearing and Liberians are continuing to signal to you their disgust in the way you are leading the country. So it's about time now that you can kind of blindfold them and try to act like, oh, you regain consciousness. After squandering for almost 3 years and not listening to nobody, all the trips, you said you're bringing 3 billion from China, we didn't see it yet. You're bringing this other one from 5 billion from how you call the company, right? You're bringing 5 billion from these people that are competing with Asilometer. How you call them? We see the 5 billion. You move on there, you go on the other side. You say you bring in refinery. We see it. So after all the money wasted on it, can you say, oh, this thing here, we got to pull restriction on the travel now. But let's listen. So President Joseph Newman Boakai has issued a cabinet directive significantly restricting officials' foreign travel by cabinet ministers and senior government officials, citing growing concerns over the need for a stronger focus on mounting national priorities. When did this become a concern to the president? After all the time. So you see, every time the president is going to come back here and agree with us. So that's how we told you that, look, you may interpret our advocacies on the radio in any way you feel to appease your sentiment and the side you support. If you're UPACE, you feel like, oh, our conversations are against your side, blah, blah. So you're not looking at the bigger picture. You know what I mean? For you being in a poor country like Liberia and the president just going inside, outside, traveling, and he not bringing $5 to the country. The directive immediately imposes stringent conditions on all foreign trips undertaken by ministers, heads of agencies and commissions, ambassadors, and other senior officials. So technically, what did we see? The guy, Mohamed Ba, his Onanuga, and all the other multitudes of ambassadors at large that he just appointed people all over the place. All of them were just flying. Some of them flying business, taking our passport, doing all kinds of things. You all remember those times, right? We broadcasted them. The president did not do anything about it. Issuing the cabinet directive at a cabinet meeting this afternoon, the President Boakai asserted that some of the travels have negatively affected cabinet participation and disrupted key government operations. So cabinet meetings will be scheduled. Serious government operations will be on. So, but the government that say they've been operating effectively, responsibly, that the president comes to admit and tell us that, look, all that meeting you can be doing, most of the important people can be in the meetings here. They can be absent. And put excuses in. Oh, we're traveling, we're going here. Whole day, all of them jumping from place to place. They go back. More Ali, they can move around and go celebrate birthday in America. A lead government job. That the same thing he left on. You remember that over 1 month plus disruption in water supply? I seen the more Ali on. You know, that guy a bunch of unserious people in the government, and they feel like they know it all. That dude left from here. And then when the rapture happened, the technician went and did a very terrible job. They did a very bad job on the work. And they have to come back again and restart that work. That's how you saw the whole city went out of water for the longest. And I challenge anybody from within to say, oh, we're making up that story. So that is the danger of these useless trips and travels. People feel because government money there, they take it, they get on plane, they go for 1 month, 2 months, they sit down there. Government functions. You go to the areas, you're trying to access government services, the whole building looking like that because the hair gone. So the president said, admits that these unnecessary travels have affected negatively the cabinet participation and disrupted key government operation, depriving the administration of critical policy input. Right? Depriving the administration of critical policy input and leadership at important decision-making levels. That doesn't mean saying that you're a rescue president. He said admitting. The president in the directive further noted that repeated international trips impose financial burden on the government at a time when resources are needed for urgent national priorities. So, what in clear the public also? Now, what happened is clear now. Apparently, he made someone question where a delay, I don't know, president requires supposed to delay. But I don't know what really clear the man, what made the man know that money been high. Because for the president to be coming up at the time when he was enjoying these things, he never spoke because the money was coming from all over. So what really happened? That made the president to say now, there's too much travel there, and no money, and becoming a burden resources. So the president admit that they have been exploit the country money to the point where money being hard now. So that the time they come and sit and say, we not easy put money being hard now, gentlemen, we just gotta sit down small and forget about the too much travel being because everybody, all of y'all, will go small program, everybody won't put a knee on the list. 50 people, 70 people won't put a knee on the list. We not do it for almost over 30 times. Where you Ghana say going, where you Guinea say the man going, Sierra Leone say the man going, Sierra Leone just go by road. Over 100, all of them just jump, and they allotted DSA for all of them. They allotted hotel for all of them. According to the directive, no government officials will be allowed to embark on foreign travel without express prior approval from the president. But the president in the air. There's a government in the air. So it is an admittance, fellow Liberians. You stood in the pool water, right? You danced in the pool water. You stood in the ring and stood in long queues to bring, a government to bed that has concentrated mostly on personal aggrandizement. And they've never cared about you. They're buying fleet of vehicles. It's only luxury for those in power. Luxury, big foreign travels, brand new latest 2026 vehicles, brand new all of that all across. Everybody is riding brand new cars while you're suffering. I think the president's directive is belated. It's even a slap in the face of the Liberian people. The president, if this is the statement, this is the position statement that should have come from the president from the day he assumed office. That would have indicated a rescue government. We came here, first of all, you started taking NASCAR money, buying car, buying bulletproof car. You feeling enjoying yourself. Cool. Your children collecting money from everywhere, cartoon money, all of them flying. Any number of people you're putting on the sun and you go. They can't sit down low in Liberian profile. They say, they say, they think taking too many resources from the Liberian people and the government is not functioning good. So we just forget about this too much travel benefit. Dala. But we are only glad it is happening. And it is happening, and you know now that when we say these things, we just didn't say them, but they were real. So I'll take conversation this morning and open the phone lines and hear your reactions to these in-house clearing on critical issues quickly, right? It's a matter that has to do with the health and life of your business, the business people. For so long we cry. There's a second decision where the rescue government fumbles and the rescue government fail to demonstrate that it is a rescue government in the interest of the people. The rescue government team, they did not reform the travel ordinance in ways that cut financial burden on the state. Rather, what they did, they even took it to another level. They restored all of the 12 years privileges of travels. So they made foreign travels burdensome for the government. They expanded the budget and they started spending more on foreign travels. The size of their trips became larger than it has ever been, costing a lot for the government. That was a blunder on the part of a rescue government. A complete blunder. And the president himself admits to that in his directive, right? So we're not making these things up. These are clear facts. Now, Another point was when a rescue government comes to power, right? It tackles the heartbeat of the nation's economy, the business sector, right? Make some deliberate, decisive reform policy proposals. Did the rescue government do that? Absolutely not. The rescue government became an enabler of the suffering of our people in the business sector, depriving and denying the actual Liberian competition within the business sector, the business environment. They increase taxes, they increase fees and fares in the port. Duty became difficult. Every line of business in the country that transacts through the ports are complaining in Liberia today because rescue became extremely excessive. Extremely excessive. And this is an admittance to that. Folks, listen. So, as a result of the embarrassing shape of how these things have played out, now the House of Representatives have realized that, look, our people are crying for too long. Our people are complaining, they're crying. So, look, we need to do something. So, the House of Representatives have launched and set up a probe into the excessive port charges amid hardship. So you see, God is beating them gradually. So when we say there is hardship in the country, they say we're making politics. When we say there is hardship, the economy is tough, right? Terms I have our people, when we're relating exactly the feelings and the feedbacks from the community, the government burn us, right? They make us to look, devilish. And you all see us as people who are supposed to be condemned. But again, as time passes, the government comes to admit to these things, and we take our time painstakingly, right? We elaborate on these things so that you understand from whence we come. Now, so the House of Representatives launches probe into the excessive port charges amid hardship. This is good, right? As much as I have some problem with timing, especially from the perspective of rescue government, these are the beginning policy action that a rescue government is supposed to embark on from the get-go. Did they do that? No. So the actual intent of these folks in power were not to rescue, but to restore the privileges of exploitation and mass corruption that they endured in the 12 years of the Unity Party misruled in Liberia. That's what they wanted, right? So they sank a language that you were desperate to hear, but they were not sincere about it. The evidence are clear. Now, the House decision followed more than 2 hours of testimonies provided by witnesses, including the Commissioner General of the Liberia Revenue Authority, the President of the Liberia Business Association, representative of the Custom Brokers Association of Liberia, an official from APM Terminals, Global Tracking and Maritime Solution, that's GTMS, inspector, and then you have the MTS Inspection Services Limited, and Metex. Look at all these. All this in the very port. What one they call MTS Inspection Services again? Then you get a Global Tracking and Maritime. Then you get APM. Then you get Metex. You get Custom. You get, what is this? All this burden on our people rescue. So appearance of the witnesses were triggered by a communication by Grand Bassa County Electoral District Number 2 Representative J. Clarence T. Banks during last Thursday's sitting. So Representative Banks communicated to the leadership of the House, and which want to commend, raising the issue about the hardship in the country and the situation at the port. They need to assess it and revisit it. But we have been talking about these things. Time will add number. So this is an admittance that rescue made no reform policy approach. They went in, they saw the place, they took advantage of it, and they even increased the situation on our people, and businesses are crying, businesses are closing, they're shutting down, and and they're moving to other countries. Some are moving to Ivory Coast, some are moving to Sierra Leone, some are moving to Guinea, because businessmen' interest is to make money. But then, when these foreigners are moving their businesses abroad, so at a time where the economy is tough, then the burden of the difficulties is felt by Liberian businesses. So this, okay, let me go. It's a predicated upon the Grand Bassa County lawmakers' red flag raised. The House took a decision to invite institutions concerned to speak to the matter. The appearance were intended to provide clarity on concerns surrounding the alleged excessive charges and their impact on Liberia's business environment and economic competitiveness. Economic competitiveness. That whole competition is off the window. Economic competitiveness, no, it's off the window. Liberians are struggling. There's co-spectators in the economy nowadays. Even the foreign business people there themselves, funny stores on Broad Street and other streets. Just enter there, you see the people sitting, literally sitting. Nothing is going on, right? I got my guy around the street. Enter the men place. Nothing going. Everybody even to do the money that in your pocket just to get that money. So the House constituted the committee and they made the chair on the committee, co-chaired by Fode Fambule. Is an Herculean task. So this is the second in a series of rescue government assessment mission on the state of our business climate or our economy. The president set up his own committee and put the vice president in charge to go and have meeting, assess and address the high cost of living. You remember, right? The vice president practically failed on that. He did not deliver well, and this is why the concern has reached now to the House. And the House is setting up its committee to go there again. So let's see. The executive failed. We'll see in the House own as well, right? It's about making decision. But the thing is, the government of Liberia and the folks in power are not willing to make sacrifices for the country. Why are they buying brand new cars over and over? They're flooding the government. Where did this money come from? From the excessive charges. So when they are willing to sacrifice for the sake of the country, looking at the time, then they will be able to cut down on these charges that will directly benefit the ordinary people. So it's like taking money from themselves and redirecting that money to the Liberian people. But the leaders we have are not willing to do that. Mr. Bwaka still wants to travel private jet. The man is flying to Lofa in private jet. The man is flying to Foya in private jet. Everywhere the man goes, he flies in private jet. The big years of private jets in the world is what Mr. Bwaka orders. How are we going to face the hardship in the economy? How are we going to ensure competitiveness within the Liberian business economy? How are we going to do that when the leaders who are directing the ship are egotistic, are self-seeking, and they're mean to the people? Very mean to the people. Fellow Liberians, these are very important conversations. Business is very, very important to you. It's important to your life. It's important to what you can do to self-realize. Most times when you have worked for people, you feel like, oh, I'm tired of working for people. Then my last saving, I want to put it into this. But what is the guarantee that when you put your saving into business, like, bro, it can succeed? When you send for goods one time, it comes to the port. When they finish putting all the bills, you'll hold your head. You will never ever send for goods again. Even the used car business that people own in the town, right? When you hear the charge on some of the cars, used cars, 5-year-old car, 6-year-old, 10-year-old cars, and you got to be spending around 5,000 to just put it out? Are you kidding me? 0776 104 104 086 500 104 plus 231 86 500 104 are the numbers to call, and you will be live. What is the election? The worries and trouble about election financing and support, as the EU has already clearly stated that the Liberian government will have to stand in the position to fund its own elections. Or you want to talk about the president's confession about the useless travels and the need to restrict foreign travels by himself and his cabinet officials, and how those travels have not benefited, rather it has been a burden on the country. What does the open confession mean to you? Or your concern is due to the economy and the business climate? Let's hear you. 0776 104 104 086 500 104 are the numbers to call, and you will be live on the conversation. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, people. So much.
Go ahead, you're live. Okay, the call is not ready. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. What is going on? Okay. I don't know that network, but it keeps saying call failed. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. I'm sitting tight, and then I'm pulling from 12 center.
Go ahead, my brother.
My attention has been drawn into the president hoping for let's pass all the huge public of look, the president knows that the country is seriously suffering. There was less seriously in this state. The economy is terrible. The economy, honor Minister Safwan is troublesome, every bad, every now the president is coming up to tell the public that they should reduce their travel. How can you carry more than 40% to Japan, Osaka, for a program? Why? Why should you be traveling a whole lot of people? That's every time deputy minister, they use the government money, they travel, they come back, they think nothing, journalists interview them. What have you brought back to the country? They tell you everything is plenty, they follow. What have we done to these people? No. The only thing Liberia needs now is to make sure we put the legs of these people open. We are back to power. This country.
Okay. Thank you very much. Good morning. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Morning.
Yeah, good morning, Freedom FM. My name is Emmanuel Godogin. I'm from Bongande.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm following the show this morning live. I just want to tell you that, what all you're talking it is true, but, the word used is very hard on the president by saying useless travel. This word
my man, move on here, man. What you call that? I use war on the president. What kind of man? They are sick offense here. Who use war on? But get up from here and find something to do. Good morning.
Good morning, Abu.
Morning, go ahead. People won't get very and come pay your money. Yeah, go ahead.
What we say the country is very hard. It's not serious. Me are sitting down to get food work and provide. But one thing that hurting me, we sick, but when you go to the hospital, since here, you go buy medicine for the Indian people, they increase the number of US, this, that. Yeah, what you want for us to do now? You can't help for everything in the air fabric. What benefit you breaking? You go to Kosovo, nothing you getting. Yeah? See the kind of nonsense we eat. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, my son. What you say, we almost send you. That is lying on there. Thank you.
Thank you very much, mommy. Good morning.
Good morning, brother Apple.
Morning, sir.
Good morning to the Freedom FM family. My name is Ote Bakwe. I do journey for district learning, to be precise, to African community.
Go ahead.
My issue has been joined to the president's statement that he made that the cabinet are doing reckless traveling and this and that. The president embraced that because when the government just started in 2024. In just that year, the president made more than 4 to 5 travels. And they bring nothing back to the country. Every time the president travels, he carry money with engine car, he carry dedicated.
Yeah, so the president said they just realized that the travels have not benefited the country, but rather it has caused the country a lot, so they put a restriction on it.
The president is just saying that for the Liberian people to hear it, but Brother Abu, deep down with me and you, it's not going to happen. The people will still make that reckless travel. Anytime the president travel, you carry dedicated, you say the president, the other thing, you just use that means to steal the Liberian people money. The people are breaking our cover every day. The people are suppressing us with the Liberian. Brother Abu, thanks to you guys for electing the Liberian people every day because we are dying in this country slowly. We are fighting in a war. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Good morning. Okay, 0776 104 104 086 500 104 are the numbers to call. Good morning. Good morning.
I'm doing the common board chairman and POP really I represent Concern Library for Justice. Brother Abu, our president cannot be trusted. So that statement, I'm looking at it, but there is a motive, there's an intent. Probably it will be a campaign message, or maybe it will be another guide to the public again. If was the same president that campaign and you're not going to rap again, what is going on today? The president will always take the podium and speak out things. At the end of the day, it does the opposite of what he can say. The president just told us in December, before January to be the state of the nation address, that the FOIA project, they didn't know about the FOIA project. But then Barrett also called the president came back in January, so that the nation address and told that the FOIA project was a government initiative. Is that not contradictory? So the president, I don't trust the words, he always contradicting himself. So that whole thing is there, and what he always does is to gain the attraction and attention of the Liberian people. He always does that thing for propaganda. So I show that part of propaganda mission there, you're giving that advice, but they not do this to the Liberian people, so we are facing the Liberian people mind. But I don't think it's sincere and truthful to it. And let me conclude by saying this, the company you're looking for like HCS.
Yeah, HCS.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you very kindly. Chief, good morning.
Good morning, my dear Hongani brother Abu Sharif.
Robert, go ahead, brother.
Thank you for giving me the opportunity. Brother Abu, let me tell you something. That 419 that the president using, the reason I'm saying this, yesterday, the president and the Unity Party, they complained that President we were doing useless and traveling. So we expected him to know better, to do better, not to come out almost within the 3 years of his regime. Then he lied to the Liberian people talking about the government officials to cut down travel. Who doing the higher travel?
So the question is, why you don't say it from the beginning? You saying it now?
Yeah. But Abu, let's look at it. Who doing the higher traveling? He is who doing the higher traveling, and he the one. If he's traveling local camera right here, he will use.
But the other men are traveling too, because their own can be announced. But the traveling, some minister they know they better spend 2 weeks in the country.
Yeah, but the what the unit does if it go right on the commander here. Huh?
Okay.
So you the bucket cannot last with the people. He was a serious president, a serious man, human being in the world. The first thing I get, they want to tell the people, I'm not traveling, nobody should travel. But he started traveling, lying, using because he wanted to steal enough money. Because the traveling could make him to steal more money. Because the more traveling he will do, the more stealing. So he are giving any account of the traveling, how much money he has been used in this country? Nothing. Did he do it? I will please tell me, maybe you are journalists, maybe you are been informed. So tell me. So because the traveling show to us that one of the stealing, one of the technique he learned from to steal is to travel. Because he will travel, a lot of money will be states in our traveling, and there will be no account. There will be no accountability.
Most time people go on the trip to enjoy themselves, but thank you very much because there can be a lot of opportunity. Good morning, Edmond.
Good morning. Let me say good morning to the listener. This is Edmond Carr, and I remain visually impaired pushing for the return of President Weah.
Edmond, they have not started finding money for election, but the FOIA project, I'm told, is almost completed, if not completed. But we are just almost the completion of the FOIA project. But go ahead, Edmond.
And this is why some of us started being not being too sure about the president, the current president, ability to effectively control the 2029 election, looking at the way in which they use money in the country, looking at the foreign withdrawal of support to election, because the 2023 election was surely sponsored by the Liberian people. I think we should depend on, and it stopped now. So if the European Union come up and talk about it, and if they are government that are ready in charge and willing to do something serious, they can start now. Because every budget year, if you just allocate 2 million or 3 million, assume the preparation stage is started, you already got something in the budget, you start releasing it right away. Okay? But what they will do, they will take the money and use it so that they can get a return. So they will not focus on the election on time. They will focus on the project that you're talking about in FOIA, because the president knows the return that are coming to him. They will announce a figure, but then something serious will be coming back to him. But this one is going to neck, and it's supposed to be utilized because they're forced to use it for the people. So we hope that they will take cue from that. And when it comes to the president directive, look, the president, he come up and say this thing, but what remain, whether the guys will be able to listen, whether the guys will be able to follow. Okay, like somebody was saying when the president made his pronouncement, after some time, the president forget about what he said. Okay. So the guys will continue to do what they do, because you got one minister going. Why you carry all of these people with you like you are the president traveling? So to cut down costs, you need not to travel with 3-4 persons with you to go do what? So looking at a country in a world that is very, very challenging, looking at a country that is challenged economically, when you do those things, you will be able to take the funding raised from there and direct it to a specific sector. Yeah, you say after every 3 months, like I was saying one of the shows. So he said after every 3 months, and some of the ministers, their travel is very, very important and essential to the country. He was not specific. He just said minister after every 3 months. So which one of the ministers are you talking about now? Are we talking about all of them? The finance minister, the foreign minister, probably the central bank or other institution?
He's talking about all of them.
Okay. So you need to be specific. And these are the hard things the other people don't want to say. Because when you just come out, you get that blanket statement that all minister, you didn't tell about the finance minister. So the finance minister too supposed to sit here after every 3 months before you travel. If now when we see him at the airport, we tell you, Mr. President, he told after every 3 months, last week, Mr. Finance Minister of all of this country, he came back, and this week, he is leaving again. Then at the end, they will come back and, they want to put aside everything. So you don't want to start the politics from the beginning. Okay. You cannot stick me with
you wanted to be clear.
Oh yes. But yes. He needs to be clear. He's not clear. And saying he was not clear, we will make sure that we will push him, will remind him every time when they are leaving this country, we will remind him of it. So he needed to be clear. But in my mind, he's not serious about it. And the guys will play. Because the last time the president said, all ministers and so time, she come to declare their assets. Do we see that happening? No. So he made this statement to play on his supporter, but he not real, because if he real about it, he will be specific that the Liberian people will follow it, they will guide it and know how it is happening. So quickly to the port issue. Yes, that is the beginning of the Liberian people suffering. We said it here because we got friends, we got people that bring in continuous in this country. Even to some extent, some people are not bringing their country into the country. They carry to Saloon and Guinea, and enter their container there, put it on truck, come at the border, pay their whatsoever they can pay, the cross, and come into the country with it. Only because of the charges at the port. Mm-hmm. So the only way some of these things can be reduced, and that's why we say to the comment minister, don't be running around here saying you are going to go regulate prices, you are going to go tell people how to sort of behave, how to sort of sell, how to sort of do. No! Start from the port. And we also told the president when he threatened the comment minister that she did not do XYZ or S, her job was threatening, we said, no, Mr. President, you don't hold the comment minister responsible for what you have. You hold your very self responsible because you, the president, need to set the stage. Because when you set the stage, then that means it will be easier for her to operate.
But you think? Do you think the House of Representatives is really serious about this, or is an opportunity to have a sit down with these business, the Metex, APN Terminal, other people have a sit down with them?
We hope they are serious. Okay, because the first thing that they made, bring in the APN terminal, I don't know, manager or whatsoever, that is the beginning. But the presentation, I found out that you can bring people and you be asking questions and you want to hear from them, and then you are there acting like children are in class and they're doing anything they want to do. Okay, so we call on the speaker to also take charge of the plenary because there's a whole lot of noise when they invite these people. Okay, you can't invite people.
Sometimes it's deliberate that way though. The stage.
Oh yeah, and that is what we are saying. We hope that they are doing it in the interest of the Liberian people, and at the end analysis, so they will not pass on the table to close them up.
Okay,
let them be serious about it, and we will follow it to know whether they are already serious for the Liberian people or intended for their pocket again.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Morning, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm Evan.
Mm-hmm.
So, JMB is a man. He can't do anything for Liberian and move on. Well, I just want to tell JMB that crazy woman is better in the middle of the net, one of the meeting room. So, he that says, so we have a traveling all around here, and now you know that traveling is not a good thing. We have been traveling the day, you never become president. So that baby just you can't see this country, and that baby got nothing to give to the Liberian people. That will last. But you know that all that thing is talking, our app our ass is going, and all was quite for in this country. So thank you.
Okay, thank you very kindly. Let me take 2 more calls and then we'll move to something else. 2, 3, 4. We can take up to 4 calls. Good morning. Morning.
Thank you. I hear you that the problem of the concern is there for justice. And I'm telling you this from the chicken justice. Well, I know the president. I don't know. Sometimes when the president is coming to the public to say things, I don't know who can tell you about it.
The president has a lot of advisors on different issues.
They are not correct. They not need work for me. Because the president is this president will fully well that he will travel. And he just say this to the public that
he didn't say they will stop traveling. He said, but they're going to restrict the travels. Like he's saying, unless under extraordinary conditions, ministers will not travel more than 3 months. In between. Mm-hmm.
Do you think the president, minister, when the president issue a statement that all those that have never, I call it,
Access declaration?
Yes. And in the period of month, it was suspended or sacked. What happened? The government of you work for the country because the thing is well for the government, so you have to you just get the government to invest in supporter. But for me, we can have saying that nothing the government will tell me that I will tell you. Thank you for showing me the time of your process.
Thank you very kindly. Good morning.
Yeah,
Good morning.
before. So I'm sure that you do. We don't need no rocket scientists to tell you that Joseph Nima Baga and his officials, they are big liars. They can lie.
So what did they lie about again?
I read all the things since they came to power. They lie.
But the other one, they say they coming, say they traveling too much, so they coming reduce the travel business now because the travel they not doing benefit in the country, it costing the country a lot. So they probably say you coming put restriction on the whole travel business now.
So people you see there, the one is fakeness there. When they say fake, the one is fakeness there because when they get to know that the traveling was too much, when they probably get to know that he can carry huge followers on his travel. When you get to know, because even when you were position, when the other person was doing it, you were criticizing it. You get me? So when you get to know, being sick, this going to be sick to what happened. They made a whole thing of coming to politics to come and correct those brothers that we made in 4 years when we had United Nations. The whole world soldiers were here for peace. We had in here morning work, walking on the street of Wall Street. US that was laying Jackie, only one around here. When they squandered those opportunities, just like my brother said, they squandered those opportunities. They may have come back to correct the mistakes. They may not come out in the people. They come out to correct the mistakes. What happened number one? See what I mean?
Okay. Thank you very much. I'm sorry I have to hold you there finally, and then we can go to something else. Good morning. The Yellow Machine conversation is coming up. Good morning. Let's hear you.
Good morning.
Morning.
Yeah, I'm Darlington Dolo. Yes. My brother, you did extremely well this morning. You outline serious issues as it relates to our country, more especially the election issues. All right? This government came to power through the Liberian people, but they refuse to respect the view of the Liberian people. You see, if you see the European Union actually come up with sex idea, that is, they are looking at the behaviors. The behavior of the government, and how the government is performing. If this government is performing in the interest of the Liberian people, I do not believe that European Union will come out with saying. But because of what people get from their views. People started as transition, how will you honor myself democracy? So this is one of the major reasons that the European Union has come up with a demand that they will no longer sponsor any election in our country. You understand? If you look at the traveling of this Blanket administration, you cannot be sponsoring an institution and this institution spending more than you. Even the British Prime Minister don't spend money. How Mr. Blanket will use the country money to be flying all over and not investing money in this country? Why are you bringing back to the country? If people look at the move of Mr. Blanket as how he proceeded with leadership, that's a man, you fucking need to sponsor leadership. If you're sending your child to school and your child is taking promotion, that encourages you to actually sponsor the child. So you Mr. Blanket have been funded so many countries have funded this Mr. Blanket government, and Blanket is not proving nothing positive to the people. So how do you sponsor this? Let's look at the market sectors. There are a lot of taxation that Blanket have increased on the market people.
But the House of Representatives now set a committee to investigate the port. Why the port charging too much?
Chief, for God's sake, you will not look at a business institution that have foreign people working with a business institution. You compare them to pay $4,500 United States. You understand? If you put this money to a businessman, who will
Okay.
If the businessman want to maximize profit, and you now as the government, you understand,
so you mean the government is responsible for the hardship?
I'm saying the government is 100% responsible for the hardship.
Okay, thank you very much. And I'm sorry we have to hold it right there because of time, and the calls are still coming in. We understand, but we can't go beyond that. But these are very important conversations that we will continue to have right here. That's why we are Freedom FM, the People's Radio. And so we're going to take this break. When we come back, we look at other issues right here on the final lap of the conversation. It's 4 minutes after 9 o'clock in Monrovia. This break, we'll be right back.
There are crimes in many places, in every community, you know, you can see. So if you see crime, report it. Don't take law in your hands for the right authority. That it can't take care of it. Crime stopper here for us, bringing safety to your door. Whether you rich or you poor, if you see a human target, enemy you cheche. Do it for your safety. If you see it, don't keep it. You must call to report it. Crime stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime stopper, stopping crime and making peace for them before. Crime stopper, Liberia, from the center to interior. Crime stopper, keeping us safe, they're stopping crimes for all of us. Crime stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime stopper, stopping crime and making peace for them before. Crime stopper, Liberia, from the center to interior. Crime stopper, keeping us safe, they're stopping crimes for all of us.
Crime Stopper Liberia is your community crime fighting partner. Don't take the law into your own hands. Remember, if you see a crime, report it. This is a message from your own self, Old Man Sam Cyan.
Crime stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime stopper, stopping crime and making peace for them before. Crime stopper, Liberia, from the center to interior. Crime stopper, keeping us safe, they're stopping crimes for all of us. Crime stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime stopper, stopping crime and making peace for them before. Crime stopper, Liberia, from the center to interior. Crime stopper, keeping us safe, they're stopping crimes for all of us.
Okay, Crime Stopper Liberia is the official partner sponsor of the Freedom Money Rise on Freedom 87.9. Folks, welcome back. And you know, Liberia is a very, very interesting place, and that's why, you know, it feels very exciting to be a Liberian, and, you know, very good, because the peculiar nature of our people and our system, the structure, and the way we handle things, particularly the Unity Party folks, the way they make things to look like, and you know, just like the scenario as painted in the George Orwell's novel thing. I mean, Animal Farm, right? Where when animals with 4 legs are good, but the ones with 2 legs are not good. So once it's Unity Party, you can violate the laws. It's good. When it's CDC, it's bad. It's Unity Party. The gas price can go up. It's okay. Prices can go up. Nobody's going to take the street. Nobody's going to break down anything. Nobody's going to blame it on the president. When it's Unity Party, there can be suspicious deaths. People can die in under mysterious circumstances. It's no issue because it's Unity Party. And when they die, they die. There'll be no question. When it's Unity Party, police can beat on you, deny your rights, tear gas you, beat you baton, even kill you in some instances. No reports. no investigation, no accountability, it's okay. When the CDC, no, hell break loose. It's not supposed to happen. Everybody is out there in the street. They're calling for sanctions. They're calling for this. They're calling for denying Liberia financial or investment support. They're calling for all the worst things in the world. They're calling for it because the most unacceptable things has happened. But on the other way around, the very United Party comes to power, right? They do not only steal from the people, they slap it in their faces, right? But the very same people say, oh, it's okay. They reduce them to beggars, right? They deny them privileges and opportunities that they should be benefiting from their country. They take away free health care delivery for under 5, right? They're threatening free tuition for tertiary public education in the country. It's okay, and people are providing justification for it, right? They're looting our mineral resources through the issuance of illicit mining operation permits to foreigners, Chinese, and they're pretending to be clamping down on them. How did they enter our forests? They are the people who brought them, right? They're igniting a spirit of xenophobia, right? After committing the blunders and permitting and opening the borders for these foreigners and aliens to come in the country and start to mine our resources with no direct benefit to the country. Who are giving them the sand and the crushed rock to build their homes? To build their homes. The Chinese miners are the ones. They go to the casinos and collect money from the very Chinese, illicit Chinese miners. That is what's going on in your country. You don't know. And then we tell you, you still be there arguing. You're getting pulled and pulled daily. When the so-called folks in government are there pretentiously in the day, they will pretend to you like, oh yeah, they're fixing things in there, they go to the casino and go collect money from the same people. Who's keeping them there? Who's keeping them there in your villages? Ask the very Chinese people. Some of them barely speak good English, but they're there. Who's enabling them there? Rescue officials. Check their phones and see the list. All of these illegal Chinese miners in the bush have got lists of government officials and government agencies that they pay money to. All of them. Ask them. They will tell you every month how much they give to the other person, that other person, this other person. Why the people are growing in poverty, they feel in power, feels like the country belongs to them. And they're feasting on the national treasure. They're riding in luxury. They're flying in business class. They're living large, big. The children are out of this place, going to schools out there, enjoying themselves, having vacations. When your children can't even have a fitting meal, their children have an opportunity to go on vacation in Dubai and other places. But it's a good thing. And then somebody makes it a debate, right? That a former president's son who is making money through his own labor, representing the United States of America, his country of birth, and somebody think that man should be denied any connection to Liberia. Look at this stupidity that is. How is that possible? The very same Liberians that can be watching people movie, Nigerian movie, right? Calling Nigerian actors, oh, that Liberian, that Liberian. But then you have a direct Liberian, child, son of a former head of state, and then you're depriving and arguing the man's lineage and connection to the country. What degree of hate or hatred can make you do that? The Joseph Boakai you support, have you asked what his grandchildren are? Have you asked what passport they carry? Right? Have you checked his children's up? Why are you so divisive and hypocritical? And sometimes it is extremely responsible for how poor you are. Because you're so mean and insincere and dishonest to yourself to the point where you can't even realize goodness in anything because of hatred. So who do you support in this country that do not have a son or a daughter or the children out of the country who are by law required to make choices and decisions when they become of age as to their allegiance? And then you come. And these same children come here with these passports. You jump behind them, you sing song behind them. When it comes to George Weah, and then when somebody mentions that Timothy Weah brings pride to the U.S. and his native Liberia, and you're angry, and then you're so angry, and I'm seeing some guys, former player of the national teams, they're coming out, they're saying all sort of things, and I'm like, these are individuals who, for the most part, have got, whatever issue with their colleague. And they are so insecure by the personal achievement and progress of this one man, and that they set a standard that is so higher that even they themselves cannot reach to. And even the man who's paying them to make these utterances, Mr. Bouaka himself cannot reach. But you see, God exposes grace through different means. So sometimes some things can be like hate, but it's not really a hate. If you really think through it deeply, it is a form of confession. It is an admittance to one's greatness. And this is how I see the barrage of criticism and the requirements, the responsibilities and the duties that people are placing on George Weah. So you see, for us, we only say George Weah should be president. But other people, the people who say they didn't let George Weah be president, they're saying George Weah should not only be president, but George Weah should be the only human being that's supposed to face every problem that is wrong with Liberia. Right? That means George Weah is supposed to be the one that's supposed to pave all the roads in this country. George Weah is supposed to be the one that's supposed to build all the hospitals and modernize them, build all the schools and modernize them. George Weah is supposed to be the one to build all the football academies and make sure that all the football players that not get good contracts, that can compete and go and advance their career, that George Weah is responsible. That George Weah will make sure that all the young people who now also have an opportunity on the national team, that they can be missing goals, that George Weah is responsible for them to school, that George Weah made, they can qualify the team. So you see, they have idolized this man. They put the man in a position where no other Liberian is qualified to be in. Only George Weah won there, because I was supposed to do all that. But you can say that for Bouaka. For Bouaka, who graduated from the University of Liberia, and that university in 2026 is still operating under leaking roofs. That university in 2026, people are still using the butchers, right, to attend nature. That same university that is his alma mater, right, and he has become vice president for 12 years and now president for 6 years to go, right? That same university, students for 2 to 3 semesters now cannot have a school bus to go to school. Joseph Bouaka, that is own background, the academia, right? So what is Bouaka's contribution? Why don't anybody hold Bouaka responsible for the excesses and the failure in academia. But the same people are able to hold George Weah responsible for the excesses in football. But the same people cannot argue that Boakai being president today, UL is not supposed to be, right, with a stink, dirty bathroom. UL is not supposed to be without a school bus to commute students. UL is not supposed to be with a leaking roof, unpainted buildings, dilapidated structures, right? Look at Fender, I went there the last time. Even the Chinese building lacks maintenance. Darkness, electricity goes out daily. That is Boakai's alma mater. He has been president for 3 years counting. Nobody holds him. So you see, the very people who oppose Weah are the people who believe Weah is the supreme leader of Liberia. Because we have not equated Weah to that level now. That supreme authority should be able to manage all the things as one. So for them, Weah is a supreme. Be president for say yeah, he move on that. It's only, but they equating the man to a supreme leader stature. The youth, the men finish the memo face school, the men finish the memo face transportation, the men finish the face road, the memo bay hospital, the memo face sport, the memo face football, the memo bay stadium, the memo bay academy, the men want to do everything. And all these things that they're arguing on and making it George Weah responsible, these are all business ventures that Liberians are supposed to be going into. But all of them that are making those arguments, they're not considering these things as business ventures, right? They all won't be representative. But when issues about Liberia come, they call George Weah name. They man, he went to the war stage. So what's stopping you from going to the war stage? The discipline you lacking, that the discipline George Weah exemplified that took him there. So stop the hate and the envy. So what do you think? George Weah, the only human being God created to fix Liberia problem? Or they your so-called politicians you can be passing around, right? That have had the privilege to preside over the country border for ages. You don't hold them responsible. But one man that you just made president for 6 years, as soon as you're talking about the other problem, you bring it up as George Weah. So George Weah better than Boakai. And then when the argument comes, you say no. But then when they say, oh, they do them, the man who 40 some more years have been occupying positions in the country, position with public trust to fix and solve. Nobody asked Boakai to say, oh, you agriculture man, they say you get your degree in agriculture. Look at the agriculture college. What has been his intervention there? So show me that farm that's producing and supplying the Liberian economy, because finally we get an agriculturalist as president of the country. Show me that. We have a Harvard graduate. Show me that University of the Art University that she managed to attract or build in Liberia. So why is the standard for Weah different and higher than the standard for all your other politicians? That question with you. I'm putting my money in that wall. I leave it with all of you. Like your bandwagoners. Like just don't be anything. Start following. Oh, as soon as you hear people talking, you don't get your own brain in your head. So nonsense. So what do you think that we should hold Weah accountable for this? So why Ellen, a graduate of Harvard, with all of the interconnection, ran this country for 12 years and left the University of Liberia in such a deplorable state that is struggling to come out of? Why? Oh, for the 2 years experience in government, holding key positions, and as an agriculturist, how come we cannot point after all those years to a tomato producing in his name, right? To a corn producing farm, a cassava producing farm? May we squander the West African West project in Foya. Those machines are still there. But talk about that one. You want to argue George Weah's legendary status? You think that people like Tim Dibane can talk on having conversation about we are right? At least to talk about Sam Johnson. So beginner who had the opportunity to play for Lone Star and they introduced sex enhancing drugs in the town whenever they are coming down. And because you represented the country flag, we try to respect your small. We can won't talk too much inside the nonsense distraction because for us we want to keep our focus on the politics. Oh, we want to talk. When we started hearing tissue, rat, all the things, as soon the Fisi beginning from Malaysian league, the other league, Cyprus league. Look at the funny league, man. So that job we are responsible for that one. You can't say that. Do you know your real contribution? Some of you are receiving pay. You don't even know how your pay was coming. But should that even be the debate in 2026? Should that be the debate? Okay, let's say what we are do. We are did for Lone Star, it's not enough. So what in Bwaka did for agriculture? Yes, you know. And you think there is no way you can have a debate about we are in Bwaka in terms of giving to Liberia and Liberian that Bwaka will even come anywhere close. Never. Even the community he lived in for years, right? That community was muddy, dirty, unattractive. It took a year to spend less than 3 years in the presidency to lay out the entire community. Bwaka feels proud. His guests and visitors can come to him. He have a home office. You can go there now. No mud. No hitching in mud. I mean, live in that place. It took a year to transform Rehab. Then you say, what did we are not do? What's wrong with you? This small tissue and rock picking and passing around here and say, oh, we are not do for national team. That we are telling you to go play a career beyond the hall. You discipline yourself and focus on your career and go up there. You think the beginner in Aricos are playing football. They say now hating Didier Drogba. They won't beat their records. They won't be more than them. But they ain't pass around taking tissue and rock passing around from all the small continual club now, all the small people getting in the community using rock and tissue on them. Then they come by and say, oh, Didier Drogba made him be a can made that all may you see Arico. No. So why only Labron? So what did Drogba do now? What did Drogba do for football in the country? You can't let politicians be using your. That job where is a poor tissue in your pocket to be passing around behind people getting in the moral time from club to club. And the other guy, Segu Jabata, started making music or confused generation. Confused generation. They enter the next club. Reserve VIP for them. That job where is a poor now. When you take the guarantee TV 4-4. You go, that job where is a carrier. You better mind yourself, sit down. We're praying one day we'll get young people that will learn and focus on what they want to do, and they will take this country to higher heights. The days of glorious football will return. Your tissue carrying, rock carrying generation can say, oh, that job we are made, this one here, that one there. Oh, say everybody won't put a more than one man. Everybody won't put a more than one man. Bunch of foolish people. So, but let's talk about yellow machine business and stuff. So, I was talking about how peculiar and interesting sometimes things appear in our country, especially with the way some folks react to situation. And I've been seeing the wave of uneasiness among right, the wave of uneasiness among senior members of the Unity Party regime following the report by the death of the custom broker who brokered and cleared the yellow machines that were brought in the country by the government of Liberia. A very genuine concerns and inquiries raised and said sometimes questions are raised and asked based on the circumstances and the conditions under which things happen. Remember when Tony Jackson passed, right? And I've seen circumstantial, concerns or thing made very common carry police people there, right? So, and that's how other people too have the right to act, and when they feel suspicious about the conditions and the circumstances and the manner in which somebody else has died, especially after clearing a yellow machine process that have been very controversial from the beginning to the finish, and will require serious audit and investigations, and critical people playing critical roles dying in such a manner, and people are asking why, how come? How come? And then everybody getting angry. And Mo Ali. Mo Ali. God. I'll get patient, man. Anyway. They're trying to be very, very, how you call it. But let me see. Let me read this thing for you. This is an interesting place. Sometimes the thing can be just so, how you call it. So, but this is what the government says. Say all 285 yellow machines arrived in Liberia. Government sets June 29 for deployment to counties. The Yellow Machines Management Committee has announced that the government of Liberia has completed the importation of all 285 yellow machines intended for road construction and maintenance across the country. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? The government said that in your own, they finished bringing all the 285 yellow machines. The last batch, that is the largest of the category of machines that we saw. Less than 20. Just when, I think Thursday or Friday, they paraded them. If anybody was along that street, less than 20 or 30 machines that passed. The first time for them to pass these machines without any truck or pickup inside. So now, are they telling us that the pickups they brought, the water tank, that small water tank or cobalt pickups they brought, and cobalt trucks, and the 12-tire trucks, so these are all the yellow machines? These are the yellow machines? Why is the government so disingenuous? Why does the government take the people for food? And you make a statement after collecting, quote unquote, about 30 million from the people to credit. You indebt the country by 30 or so million to bring in wet picture, and you call them yellow machines. And people say we shouldn't talk about that. Accountability. Stop. That's the total machine, the total actual machine that the government brought in the country. I doubt if it reached 70. At least to talk about 285. And then when you rephrase it, you say earth moving equipment. There is a definition of what that is, and there are category of locomotives that qualify under earth moving equipment. Not pickup. Not cobalt. Dump trucks can be there. Motor grader, right? Excavator, and all the other categories. You can have a dump truck there. Right? Let's assume you can have a water tanker truck there. But they cobalt truck, they coastal fish carrying truck. And you know the Lebanese people coastal fish. The truck now it can be in, and you know that coastal fish truck with the small little container back behind it. You go bring that one in, then you bring pickups, Chinese pickups, you put it inside. Then you say that yellow machine 285, you're not bringing in the country already? Fellow Liberian? what is this? Sometimes it gets so annoying, and you feel like, well, how did people acting like say the country now reach the bus stop now? Say the place, the country to the bus stop now. We're not going nowhere again. Yeah. Anything the men want to do, they do. Right? The GSC is not able to be auditing those ones. GSC cannot audit this. But GSC is only able to be finding issues on past government officials, but the still not happening now. That means the GSC, the General Auditing Commission, the head, has worn a political jacket. And to be protected, he has to take his eyes from on the excesses that's happening now, right? And to become endeared to those in power now, he has to keep pushing the narrative towards their opponents. So the more he is releasing other reports against the CDC government, it earns him a degree of favor in the Unity Party. And then that becomes a shield and protection for his job, and also guarantee the chance or the possibility of extension or renewal. So these are the danger when public servants start to put issues of themselves above, the country. Then we have a problem. Then we have a serious problem. But we have always had this problem the moment Boubacar was announced president of the country. Yes, the problem came right over our country. Right? You know what was that problem? Nepotism, favoritism, sectionalism, tribalism, partisanship. Those are the 5 bases that defines the leadership quality of Mr. Boubacar, and this is exactly how he has run this country since he became president. And there was no argument about that. Even UPS do not argue about the tribal inclination of the old man. No, they do not, absolutely not. Because even they themselves were in the rank and file, right? Based on those proximity and how close you are when you're in a place with a kissy boss, no matter how inadequate that boss is, you have to lay your own under theirs. You have to lay your own under theirs. Right? So, this yellow machine, the government is boldly, inaccurately telling us that they have brought in 285 yellow machines. So now, can the government allow the independent press, for once, go in there to on a guarded inspection to ascertain and establish the accuracy of the government's pronouncement? Can we do that? Because look, this is now favor, this is now gift, this is coming from the Liberian people, this is coming from our taxes. It has to be accounted for. This is unlike initially when the president said he had a good friend that was making these donations, which was a blatant misinformation, which was a terrible dishonesty. So fast forward, the emitter that is coming from the country. Look, 2 to 3 most important matters that Liberia will spend years on investigating, and people and heads will roll. It doesn't matter how long. Is this yellow machine deal and that FOIA project? Because there are no issues that a lot of lies and inaccuracies were spewed about in this country under this government than the FOIA project and the yellow machine arrangement. From the beginning to the end, dishonesty, lack of transparency, right? Misinformation, inconsistency, inaccuracies, all over. These are the situations that we find ourselves in. So knowing clearly that there will be time for answering questions around these things, knowing clearly that there will come a time that all of those associated with this yellow machine procurement will have to give account. It started with the president office. It left from there, it went to the vice president office. It's left from the vice president office, it went to public works. From public works, it went back to to the president office. And the president sent it to Bernie Samuka. And that is the reason why in the latest pronouncement of the final arrival, Bernie Samuka was not seen. Can they tell us why Bernie Samuka wasn't there, but rather another man had to declare? Bernie Samuka himself was Sheena. Say, even on the deployment, no, I told the people that we'll be deploying in dry season. Yes, I'm going to go tell the people June. I will be able to tell the people June. When the request we made, you're not even service a request, right? To be able to move these machines to the different counties. You don't even service the request yet. They wanted lacking in Ivory Coast. We're not even brought them in yet. So now, if the yellow machines, because one thing the government did not do with the country was to clearly come out with the breakdown specifications on the equipment that are coming. So now, even when we go Camp Ware in Carisburg and we count 50 or 70 actual machines, right? How do we argue? The only argument we can say is that you told you're bringing yellow machines. But when the conversation changed to anything you can use during road construction process, so even shovel will be part of it. When the conversation changed to that, the government now to have come up with a whole roster, right? Disaggregating the figures, 285 F-moving equipment, right? You can say 100 pieces of yellow machines, 50 pieces of Hilo pickups, 25 pieces of water tanker cobalt, 10 pieces of what? Actual water tanker. Then we 15 pieces of 10 tire trucks. So that when we go, we see now, when we can't, we see there, say, oh yeah, the government said the government did not do that with us. Because you know why that is important? Then we can do the math on the cost of those equipments and juxtapose that with the credit the government took for the project. Then we know whether it's consistent and the government was actually disciplined in the process. The government is not willing to do that. I challenge you, they cannot do that because there are big loopholes. Come on for the cobalt trucks. And you credited $30 to $35 million to go buy a bunch of cobalt trucks and bring it in, and you just rest them and say, oh, we're not bringing a 285 yellow machine. So okay, we'll see the 19 machines to the counties, right? 19 machines by counties. We all going in our countries. We'll count the machine there, one. Then we know. We see. This is absolutely disingenuous. This is unfair to the Liberian people. This is unfair. Because if you put the country through debt, and the repayment of that may not even happen while you're in power, it becomes a burden on the country. So it is important for clarity to be made, and it doesn't matter which party you support. Then come the sudden death of the man who cleared the machine, inviting very justified concerns and questions and the need for clarity. Oh, yes. The government is duty bound to investigate situations where the public feel like, oh, the death happened under mysterious circumstances. The government is duty bound to do that and clear the air. That's all you have to do. Clear the air. Do the investigation and clear the air. Because the public is not aware. It's possible the man was sick. And you have protracted ailment, but it was not in the public. So you do the investigation and publish the report. In the absence of that, you all are coming out on social media and putting on defense and talking all kinds of things. That is even making it to smell fishy. Mo Ali, Bwaka Jaliba, and a host of other UP social media officials. You are making the whole thing to smell fishy. Now, this is how our good friend Benedict Kaluba describes what is happening in the country amidst the last batch of yellow machines that you all must be concerned about. He says 2 hours ago, if you're not following Benedict, you have to follow him. Benedict is a very disciplined scholar, always about the issues, putting his education to work. Benedict, who are put into silence and he has the skills, he has the expertise, he has the know-how, and to get something for him, some kind of job, and you sit him somewhere. But he refused to be like Kanye, our friend. He refused to be like Kanye. The other one I won't say I will leave here because I'm my friend. Now, a bleeding Liberia, from rescue to debt queue. From rescuing the country to putting the country into debt. Technically, that's what you mean. Fellow Liberians, Benedict opined, when the rescue mission launched the arrest agenda, it was like heaven was coming on earth with development. It promised GDP growth while relying on nearly 70% or 5.81 billion external financing of the 8.7 billion development plan. Rescue, the arrest agenda development plan, $8 billion. When the rescue published that thing, I found they all making it well. I think a Ferrito or somewhere they did it. At first, they sounded like a development pathway to many grassroots Liberians. But how? With the flow of loans, with the flood of loans, concessions and resource deals suggest our development is being undertaken by debt. Too many loans. The president just submitted one to the legislature. Where is it from? On the World Bank also. I will check it out. It is leaving everyone to wonder whether rescue has turned into a debt trap for Liberia. Fellow Liberians, you remember that the government was celebrating 2 IMF programs valued at 476 million. You remember that? Including the ECF 210 million and RSF US 226 million, totaling $476 million, all in loans, in credit, and borrowers. Rescue have not attracted any money. They're just piling on debts. And the usage of those monies are so very much insensitive and benefiting only a few. So Benedict going around and say, initially all the rescue missionaries were celebrating and passing around like these monies were some kind of goodwill gesture from the IMF. Is this a rescue or a debt trap? A debt trap. Fellow Liberians, concession and projecting financings add further obligations. For example, the PAVI Fort arrangement, the role Sonny Ward Broker they're passing around breaking ground for. The PAVI Fort arrangement will add roughly US 296 million in debt. Yellow orange machinery about 22 million, NTA buses about 4 million, and biometric ID cost around 30 million. Our traditional financing with the World Bank and the AFDB totaling over 1.4 billion, mostly in concessional loans. In 3 years, the rescue government is contracting nearly 2.2 billion in loans in less than 3 years. It put all the credit rescue now take is putting up to $2.2 billion US. Is this the path of rescue or a path for a debt trap? On the abandoned local road segment from Salaye to Vonjama, Minister Gafuan signed US 15 million from KPAED, right? US 30 million from the BADA, and of course announced another 100 million from Konya Vonjama, bringing the total for Salaye Vonjama to about US 145 million. Can a poor country afford to trade its future for short-term headlines? Unfortunately, fellow Liberians, all our domestic revenue is going toward the recurrent expenditure of the government, including the purchase of vehicles for government officials. You see, the same thing I'm talking. All the money we're generating in the country on our own, the government using that money to flex. Then the one that's supposed to be development for the people, they go to put the country in debt. Like your rescue government there. That is your, and this is why Benedict say entrapment. So it's going to make it difficult for successive regimes or the future of this country, because we'll be swimming in debt. We'll be swimming in debt left and right. Purchase of vehicle for government officials, conspicuous salary increases, fringe benefits, excessive international travels, hiring of private jets for the president, enrollment of risky missionaries on the payroll, everyday press conference, and every week cabinet meeting without any result. This is where the country money is going into. Press conference, cabinet meeting, all kinds of things. This is not rescue or the rescue that they promised. 0776 104 104 086 500 104 plus 231 86 500 104 are the numbers to call, and let's hear you. What's your say? Government say the yellow machine what they go credit for, and they probably fought contract. Technically, up to when they probably fought contract will end, if you do the math mathematically, considering everything, that contract will go up to 600 million. Good morning. Good morning. You gotta move away from your monitor, man. We can't do that here. Go ahead. Morning. No, I'm sorry. Not ready. Okay. Good morning.
Good morning, Abu Sherry.
Morning, sir.
The name is Kevin Honesty Pay and apply in Virginia, and I'm from him from Louisiana.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Abu, thank you very much. Then the question we asking out there is, then the first batch of yellow machine came. When the second one came, the first batch of machine came. The landed in the pirate day. The second batch, when it landed, for the 245 yellow machine correct now, the 5 yellow machine is incorrect. You see the policies of the government, they continue to parade with policies, you know, and misinformation and things that we don't hear it. But I can say always, thanks to you guys on the media always, inform some of them who refer to the opposition, journalists, and journalists is to say the only party that in opposition. And you see, thank you for my brother. It's a plus to him. Even a cabinet meeting, putting on traveling for a minister, is everything. There's a plus to you guys, not to him, not to the government.
Okay. Thank you very much. Good morning.
Good morning, Abu.
Good morning. Go ahead.
Yeah, Abu. Thank you very much for the show, man. Brother, I'm a Liberia. Money is Baba Kim. I was calling from Bapoli. Brother, the way the money you put the content money, brother, is worrying from every distracted. Sitting up crying, there are reasons that will come after. What it would be for?
They will come meet so depth.
Yeah.
And thank you very much. And folks are, when we're talking to them, they're not listening. It's dancing in people water and blah. So the thing can be fixed. The president just need to take this Gafon man there. He doesn't know how to make money. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Morning. Go ahead.
Yeah, this is Pio. I'm calling from Minneapolis, St. Paul.
Go ahead, Pio.
About everything you said on your second segment of your show, you have one thing that came to mind, right? In relationship to the George Weah's son, Timothy Weah.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I've been seeing this part of the world I'm for myself. When it comes to participating in the white people's society, we are so happy about it. Even if a Liberian child is going to lay his life down for America to go for a war, for example, to be a Marine, it's a privilege. I shouldn't say a privilege. I shouldn't say a privilege, but it's like an achievement.
It's a huge honor.
Join the US Army, right? And an achievement for them. Everybody happy to celebrate. They put lap on the ground because their son, their daughter is an American Marine or US Army.
Mm-hmm. We see it every time.
We see it every time. I got friends who get mad at me. When my son wanted to join the army, I told him, you're not going to join the army. What about you? You crazy? You don't want to chat with me. You think that you went die tomorrow, who want to keep my name on behalf when I'm no longer around? My friend got mad at me. Oh, you miss the pocket opportunity. I know which kind of opportunity. I can send my son to college if you want to go to college. I can play. I can support him anywhere I want. So most of them, when you join this, you get a benefit. You get that benefit, right? All I'm saying is that people are happy for the children to be in different segments of the American society and civilized society in different ways.
Okay.
Right? But when it comes to George Weah, people have issue. I remember a kid that used to play for Salt Lake City. What now? He said what? Join the son. How about that kid? Right? It's a man who's doing well here.
Mm-hmm.
Who are looking for the children in the American society? But when it comes to George Weah, people have an issue. What's the problem? If it's Joseph Boga, I will speak right now. If Joseph Boga get a governor in America, he will celebrate it.
But how is some no? But when this guy, Joseph Boga friend, Dr. Famule, he has his daughter doing very well in the UK, and she resigned from the government recently. Everybody okay with that, everybody, and they celebrate Famule. But the standard is just so different when it comes to Weah. Why are people like that? But
I will speak right now, man. I will speak right now. I will speak right now. That's the Famule. She's one of the first guys behind Keystone to resign.
I know she resigned from the main government. I know. I follow that. Thank you very much, Uptown. But again, this is our country, and that's the peculiarity I spoke about. Good morning.
Good morning, Abu.
Good morning.
How the family?
Yeah, good.
This is my, they're calling from St. Paul.
Mm-hmm.
Abu, the former players that put in a mob on Jovia and his son, they were worried because the angel spirit are in there now. When they were playing football here, Abu, that time we were young. Wonder me, you see them in a club that what made all the booms break down. In the club drinking when woman so small get so. Who responsible for the next country? Before they will put a mouth on somebody who do well for their family, even for Liberia to a miracle. the kind of high spirit about them that it is playing. They will stay long inside. The former player then are talking all kinds of things. The envious spirit will eat them raw. They will do all kinds of things to them. They will stay long inside. What wrong with them, sir? What wrong with them? Who's responsible for the misfortune? Oh man, that pack one family. Bye, Amacha.
Thank you very much. Thank you very kindly. Good morning.
Good morning, brother Abu. Good morning to the many listeners. This is Director Jerry Lafon from Peace Island, to be specific. My brother, this thing, like you said, is there to distract the people from the real issue. That is the issue of President reaction. For me, that is not something for us to subscribe to. Somebody who is of age and decide to play and benefit themselves and benefit the people and benefit the people. When he came here, when he went with the West, what he did, he donated things. He didn't donate with us we are giving things to people in America. When he came abroad, knowing that no matter what you do, you tell him alright, the man knowing that he's a Liberia, no matter what you do. That was one issue, alright, because somebody nationalized that, but the reality is he is a Liberia. He will tell himself they don't get their heart. Well, I was the issue to distract the people for what is happening and the hardship that is on there.
But that's what we got to talk about in the city around the whole yellow machine.
So there is another call to all the colors, all the people that are on the government side, they should be distracted by the so-called personality
Okay, all right. Thank you very much. We're not necessarily, but just to provide the clarity. Good morning, quickly. I think you're the last caller.
We start committing a member of Constant Nigerian for Justice.
Go ahead.
Yes, he just said right. I put a message to destroy President Weah, but instead they promoted him. Have you seen the Inquiry newspaper of May 28, 1998, when President Weah paid $40,000 United States at the University of Liberia? If they are not government, people are going to yes, that's it. But today, that newspaper has just said everything that indeed President Weah gave to this country. Besides, that same newspaper carried $5,000 United States out of President Weah paid for FIFA. That same newspaper carried the portrait of the first part that was delivered by President Weah. The news are all over. So the main thing to destroy President Weah, but instead that they itself have promoted President Weah. Look, Abu, we are proud of President Weah. We start Joseph Walker against us. With all of that Ghana will all we start in 2029. They have killed and they are performing below the best under President Weah. Henceforth, this Ghana will motivate us to continue to push up the return of President Weah. Thank you very much.
Thank you very kindly. Okay, and I just can't take any more call. All the phones are ringing here, but this is all the time we got to be here. We're 2 minutes late. Many thanks to all of you that called in. For those of you that play listening role, as always, thanks a whole lot. We're going to be here tomorrow, but this is how I like to bring the curtains down on this Monday morning presentation. My name is Abu Sharif. Until we see you tomorrow, do have a wonderful time. Bye-bye. Ayo, 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 ayo.